Hello folks, Typhoon Carter here, and today I bring to you another Jimvitational 2 matchup. This is a round 2 showdown between Kollin 7 and Jabba the Griffin. Both of these players are in winner's bracket, but I'm not going to do a way of introductions, I'm just going to jump right into this. Smeargle lead, Zapdos lead. Zap subs on the Smeargle, and Kollin bringing out a DD Smeargle pass from the looks of it, probably. And that Smeargle's gonna eat up the T-Bolt with ease, and it's just gonna explode, so he's just like, yeah, forget about trying to, pass anything. Regice is brought out, Megros is the response on Jabba's end. And it looks like it's Lum or CB meta, either one is plausible. And Zapdos just got T-Bolt. Kollin bring out a mixed meta from the looks of it. Psychic, HP, Fire, and Mash probably. But the Regice is going to shake this off. And Jabba BP's back out to Metagross again. And that Ice Beam damage is adding up on the Metagross along with the Spike. So that Spike is putting in some work. And Jabba has to BP again. Looking like maybe he'll sacrifice the Metagross. No, it actually barely lives the Psychic. And Gengar is brought out, catches the boom. Nice play on Kollin's end. Jirachi is brought out here, so this could be a Super Rachi on Jabba's end. That's got to force it out. And the Doug is brought in to trap this Jirachi, so Kollin bringing some kind of special, like mixed offense with a Doug in the back. But the Doug is not going to be able to take up the Jirachi, but it is low enough for this Gengar to do the job. This Gengar looks like it's maybe like 300 speed Gengar or something, or it's like a timid Super Rachi. Regice here again. Jabba doesn't look like he probably has another Ice Resist that he can lean on, and that Zapdos is going to go down with ease. And the Doug Trio is brought out on Jabba's end, so he's got a Zap Doug build going there, and the EQ does not kill the Regice, so this seems like a day for Doug Trio not being able to do its job, but Jabba is going to be able to finish it off. And the Megros is brought out, and Jabba's last shown to be Suicune here. And Suicune taking a special defense drop, and Jabba does not want to see that. And Kollin's last reveal to be Starmie, probably offensive Starmie, and what do you know, it is. And Jabba trying to like Calm Mind up, trying to like play for the choke, I guess, but that is not going to do it. This Gengar's at full health. And yeah, Jabba's saying rough drop, and the T-Bolt does not get the job done. And Kollin is going to be able to take this game 1 relatively handily. And a little bit of banter in the chat, but you can't really see that. Anyways, yeah, so Kollin's up 1-0 here. And if Kollin wins his next set, he's going to have a week off, so he definitely wants to win this. That being said, though, here we have game 2. Let's just jump right into this. Zam lead, Jolt lead. So Alakazam lead, not something you see every day. And Jolteon lead on Jabba's end. So Claydol is brought out as the Jolt response on Kollin's end after getting some nice chip damage. Jolt's gonna BP out the Skarmory. Skarm probably might have Toxic here, but it's gonna get the Spike up, and Zam has got Fire Punch here, and it is gonna go down to its Throw Pack. So again, getting some nice chip damage on his end, and Kollin, nice play there to catch the Jolteon, trying to absorb the T-Bolt, and it is shown to be Toxic Protect Zap. And this Jolteon looks like it's perpetually not going to be able to do anything. And Kollin stays in here knowing that Jolt probably can't stay in, probably trying to catch the Claydol switch, and Meta is brought out. So on Jabba's end we have a Skarm, Meta, Jolt, and Pert. On Kollin's end we have a Zam, Doll, Zap. And Jabba showing Agility Metagross here. And it's going to get some nice chip damage here. T-Bolts. Yeah, both these players, they've used a fair bit of timer and Rock Slide, so it is looking to be Boomless Metagross. And Jabba trying to fish for the flinch, but doesn't get it. And Jabba's going to mash, take out the Zapdos, and gets the attack release. So Jabba's in a nice spot here, but no boom though. So he is going to get some damage on this Suicune. Looks like it is a bold Suicune on his end. And this Jolteon's brought out to force this Suicune out, force the Claydol in. Does just that. Catches it with either HP Ice or HP Grass. Jolt BP's out. Goes to Gengar, blocks the spin. And that looks to be HP Grass Gengar. It's going to take a lot from the Psychic. And it looks like the Gengar check is going to be Jirachi. And Jolteon's brought out. And Doug is brought out here. So the Jolteon's going to be forced to baton pass out. And okay, it says Jabba won the battle. Looks like Kollin ran out of time. And he thought he got the click off in time, but it seems like he did not. So I guess that makes it 1-1 between Kollin and Jabba, with Jabba taking game 2. And it looks like we're going to be taking this to game 3. Been a pretty fast series, all things considered, although I think Kollin was like still had a chance to win game 2, but looks like he just ran out of time. Not sure what else to say. We have game 3 here. Let's just jump right into this. Tar. So T-Tar on T-Tar action turn 1. Both their switches. Jabba's being Suicune and Kollin's being Skarmory. And Jabba bring out a Fortress. And that Tyranitar on Jabba's end now looking likely to be a Pursuit Tar. And Kollin knowing this, he's just going to opt to get the Will-O-Wisp off on this Tyranitar. He's probably going to look to try to get whatever chip damage he can get. Gets Pursuited on the way out. So Gengar can only really come in safely one more time. Can't really take much of anything anymore. And Hariyama is brought out. And Ice Beam's going to do 22% here, so that's like moderate chip damage, but this Skarm's going to be Blissey forced out, and Skarm's going to lose its leftovers on the way out. Kollin maybe threatening a Drill Peck, but with the knockoff now, this means that Ori could possibly 1v1 this Skarmory, make some progress on this. But Jabba's just going to opt to get as many layers up as possible, and that HP doing nothing. Looks like HP Bug from the looks of it. He's gonna get the spin off. And like I said, any chip damage on this Skarmory, it's gonna stay. And Jabba trying to call out the Spike again, but doesn't get it. Finally switches out. Salmons is brought out. This could be Mixed Ments, because this could be like a Wish Ments, to be honest. Like based on the structure here, and what do you know, it is. Like just based on how fat this team on Jabba's end overall is. And then looks like Kollin's got the Starmie on his end. So both these players have spinners. And we could be looking at a bit of a marathon here. And Blissey is brought out on Jabba's end. And shows Seismic Toss here, so likely not packing Thunderbolt. It's probably like Ice Beam, Seismic Toss here. No, it is Seismic Toss plus Toxic Blissey, okay. Maybe it's Mono Bliss because like this Blissey kind of gets walled by Gengar, but if you have to pursue Tar in the back, then it makes it you're a little bit more okay with making that concession. Anyways, both these Blisseys trading Toxics here, and not too much progress being made these last couple turns, but the Skarmory losing leftovers is going to be huge. You obviously have the Wish Salamence, which could look to get a Wish off, maybe heal the Ori back up and win the Spike War, and Hariyama's going to let this Focus Punch rip. Floods right into his Gengar, but that's no problem. Because again, like Jabba has a free knock, to be honest. And yeah, knocks off again. Kollin not too comfortable wanting to let the Gar lose its lefties when it's already on its last legs. Spikes are up. Again, this Ori is taking a lot of chip damage, so he's not going to have as many free entry points. So that should Dragon Claw Flamethrower Wish. So this could be like Brick Glass. Might not be, but I think it should be Brick Glass on this Salamence. Blissey on Blissey action here. Kollin's Blissey throws out a Toxic. Jabba's Blissey also throws out a Toxic. Here, folks. And this Tyranitar is brought back out. We don't know what Kollin's Tyranitar set is, but it might be Physical Tar. And EQ is going to almost take out this Taran. Nice T-Wave review on Jabba's end. Just barely lives. Hariyama's got Brick Break here, and this Swamper's gonna shrug it off, but this doesn't want to stay in, doesn't want to take any extra damage, especially when you have a full health Suicune in the back. This Suicune's going to start CMing up. Kollin shows Roar perk here. Yeah, this makes sense because you want to have as much Suicune counterplay as possible, especially because Kollin's Blissey is likely not Calm Mind Blissey. Seismic Toss is here. Rock Slide's going to do it half the amount. This is looking like just regular BKC card here. Rock Slides again. This Hariyama is extremely low on health now, and Hariyama's going to let this Focus Punch rip. It's going to do 45% to this Swampert, so that's big boy damage right there. But this Suicune's going to force the Pert out once again. Blissey brought out as the response to Suicune. Again, like Jabba's Suicune has some potential to potentially like clean house near the end, but like Kollin also knows this and wants to try to make sure that the Suicune is taking as much damage as possible on the way in. It was at like 45% on the way out, so it'll probably be like 30-ish% with spikes accounted for. Salamence is brought out here, and Kollin's T-Tar full pair is here, so that could have been a Rock Slide, could have had some permanent damage, but it is not meant to be. Starmie is brought out here as the Salamence check or something, but this Hariyama is going to go down to Ice Beam, and the Fori is going to receive the Wish here. So, okay, so the Fortress goes down to a crit, and Jabba in chat not too happy about that. And the Suicune looks to be Jabba's like last hope of getting something out of this game, or rather salvaging it from this rather difficult position, to say the least. And Kollin's probably gonna get a Roar off here with this perk. But the Suicune, the next time it comes in, it's going to have a free Wake Up. And this Salamence has not shown if it's Grass Move or not, but might not have it. Perk protects here. Kollin trying to scout out HP Grass, but Jabba's just hard switch. Blissey is brought out here again. Probably going to like try to throw a Toxic onto the Suicune, try to force some pressure on it, force it to rest. Because again, for Kollin, this is more about just trying to make sure you have the game secured. Whereas for Jabba, I think he's just trying to look for opportunity of any kind to just try and get a last month Suicune situation going here. But I don't think Kollin's going to let him get that as easily. Roared out here. Salamence brought out. Crit heals enough where you could afford to scout, but Toxic's here, that floods. If I'm Kollin, to be honest, I would maybe start just clicking Roar. But Suicune wakes up. Blissey is brought back out. Jabba's gonna go to his own Blissey, probably trying to PP stall the Toxics. That's the other thing that Jabba probably wants to count for on his Suicune winning path, if you want to call it that. Oh, and the Skarm's gonna get layers up for days. 2 layers. You might as well get a third layer up here while he's at it, but he can always do that later. We are on turn 60, and this feels like again, like this is just extremely uphill for Jabba to overcome. And luck has not been on Jabba's side this game, but I mean, it's ready to Fortress. Again, crit that really made this game go from like favorite to calm, but like, you know, still has ways to lose the game to like almost unwinnable for Jabba. But you never know. Like a crit can always like change things. And this Skarm looking to... Okay, yeah, it's just gonna get roared out here. Salomon's brought up, threatening a fire move on Skarm. So it switches out the Starmie. But Jabba's just gonna wish up. Maybe try to get this Suicune healed up. Try to offset the Spike's damage and incoming chip that's going to get. So again, like for Kollin, this is more about draining out those wish PPs. For Jabba, it's about trying to drain out any toxic PP that, you know, Lissy could throw out. Just really playing the long game. That's what you're really trying to look for in this scenario. Turn 70. Kollin seeing a chance to maybe get ahead here, get a free Rock Slide off. And Jabba more than content to let this Blissey go to Rock Slide. Just trying to force a last Pokemon sweeping situation. Wish is up. And yeah, Jabba's gonna let the Salmons go, so now it's Suicune versus the world. And this is pretty much Jabba's last ditch effort of trying to like win the series. Calm Mind's up. Kollin throwing out the Toxic here, trying to force the Suicune to use as many rests as possible. The other way I could see Kollin working around this Suicune is maybe something like Explosion Gengar or Destiny Bond Gengar. That's something he could also do too. And this Tyranitar is brought in, maybe just trying to force some chip damage on this Suicune. Like again, you just want to force the Suicune to not be able to boost up freely. He's gonna get one more. And this Suicune is almost certainly going to be forced to rest again, because if you surf here, like, you're liable to getting like killed by something else. Yeah, I mean, this Suicune's gonna be near death, pretty much. Like, Sandchip could do it in at any point. Kollin's down to 15 seconds on this, wow. Sandchip doesn't quite do the job here. And the Suicune's going to rest up. Gengar fishing for crits right now. Again, if he has Destiny Bond or something, then that's his way out. Yeah, maybe it's like Taunt D-Bond. Possibly, that's something. D-Bond's here. Jabba calls it out. Calm Mind's up. Now the question is, does this Gengar have Taunt or not? D-Bond again calls it, and the Suicune's going to go down. Kollin almost let that game get away from him, to be honest, but Kollin's going to be able to walk out of this set with a 2-1 victory over Jabba the Griffin. That was quite the game free, to say the least, especially with the last Pokemon Suicune. And again, like, there's always a way for Suicune to come back, and he almost certainly did. That said though, if you guys enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, and consider donating to Jimvitational 2's prize pool. That being said though, I will see you guys next time.